Okay, so now the guna, which is sattva, rajas, and tamas. You want to take that one?
Sure. So guna is, like I said before, it's the quality, right? The motivating quality of the sign. So Libra is considered to be Rajasic because it's motivated by desire. Okay. Anytime you are motivated or stimulated by something and therefore you want to do something, that's going to be a Rajasic quality. Okay. And this is the same reason that Libra is associated with the Kama houses. Okay. Libra is about desire, passion for something, you know. So that makes it Rajasic. It's really that simple. Libra is interested in making use of the opportunities, you know, that it's potentially presented with and how to capitalize on that, you know.
Yeah, okay.
As opposed to a sattvic quality being simply content with what is. Okay? Libra is not content with what is. It wants to move forward.
And would you contrast it with Thomas as well?
Thomas is more like, you know, Thomas is the opposite in the sense that it's content with what's going to happen in place. It's not trying to go create something. It's simply available to the information that will happen where it is. And that's how it's going to work. That's its motivation, is to stay in place and see what happens, kind of. You know? Rajas is going after something that it wants. And Sattva is just, it's okay where it is. Everything's fine the way it is. Doesn't need anything to change.
Okay. Now the caste, according to Brihat Parashara, the air signs, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, are Sudra signs. And Libra and Gemini are Rajas, which are full of passion with which to pursue the immediate fulfillment of their desires. And Libra, because Libra is associated with the Kama houses or the desire houses, is especially so true, especially true for Libra. Okay, so let me see.
I would say a little more about the caste.
Okay.
Because it's interesting to note that, you know, the Sudra caste is the lowest caste. You know, just speaking in the social hierarchy, you know, it's the lowest caste. The Sudra is like the worker, you know, not the merchant, but like the worker, especially, you know, the one who does like the dirty work in a way, you know, like janitors and plumbers and the people who do the things that need to be done, but that, you know, the priests are not going to be doing that, you know. So that I'm just giving that connotation because Libra is also associated with the lower parts of the body, you know. So it's associated in the spectrum of things with what's lower, you know, in the range of life. Desire is a lower thing, you know. People who are evolved have mastered their desires, you know. This is the concept, you see.
Oh, that's the idea.
It's kind of lower. It's more about desire. It's more about like, you know, finding your position in things and in a balanced way, and all of that is good. But it's just, this is part of where the caste connotation is coming from. You know?
Yeah, they make it possible for the priest to do his work.
You need to have the foundation. It's all necessary.
Absolutely.
You know? We don't want to look at it in social terms, but desire.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Okay, so day and night strong signs. So some signs are strong and vigorous during the day, and some are so at night. And Libra is a day strong sign and has more energy during the day and gets energized by bringing things to concrete realization. Libra is full of know-how. And so that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? They know how to get their desires fulfilled.
Yeah, they're looking to get something done and they know how to do it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Effective.
And so you want to do the front rising, back rising then?
Sure. So Libra is a front rising sign, which means that it rises over the eastern horizon, so-called front first. It just means that it's oriented toward the world, you know? It's oriented toward fulfilling, you know, its desires, its tasks, its activities in the world. And it knows how to do it. It has the knowledge and the capability to do it. So that's front rising.
Yeah, worldly wisdom.
Worldly.
Yeah,
very
very
worldly. Which makes sense with Venus, you know?
Yeah.
Venus is a planet of worldly wisdom.
Yeah, like for a Libra, for instance, they would know exactly how to behave if they were invited to the White House for dinner.
Right.
What to wear, what fork to pick up first, what wine glass, all of that. What to say, what not to say, they would know. Okay, so the feet of the signs. The signs are either two-footed, four-footed, many-footed, or without feet and moving in water. The two-footed signs are adaptable, but they're not particularly strong. Their strength is in their ability to adapt. And all the two-footed signs are symbolized by human figures. Now, this is an interesting distinction between Vedic and Western, unless there's something I don't know. But in Western, it's just the scales. But in Vedic astrology, it's a human holding the scales.
Right.
So, two-footed signs are really interested in the first house matters of thinking and following one's true path. They're least interested in the seventh house matters of maintaining partnerships. Now, that is an interesting contradiction, I think, with Libra, because Libra is the natural ruler of the seventh house.
Right.
The seventh house is a desire house. So there's a paradox there, or a conundrum. I'm not sure which. Could be a contradiction. What do you think of that?
Well, I think there obviously is this part of Libra that's interested in doing whatever is going to be balancing. Whatever it's going to balance its desire and its ability and what it's going to take to fulfill it, and it's going to try to go about it in a way that works. It's not just like, it's not Aries, you know? It's not just going to charge down the path, you know? It's trying to figure out the best way to go about it and make the adjustments it needs to. So in that sense, it's not just oriented to the seventh house, because it doesn't just want the partner for the partner's sake. It's okay with not having the partner. It's all about where does it fit into this grand scheme of all of these things that it's trying to deal with. And that's the bottom line for Libra. It's not, the relationship is not the bottom line. It's a cruel planet. It's going to put you aside if you're an imbalance to what it's trying to achieve.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. If you're helping, if it's a good partner, business partnership, a good marriage, and it's all working, I mean, then there you have it. You know, it'll be a great thing. But that's the bottom line. That's how I see it, at least.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. You hear all the time about marriages that break up because one partner grows a lot more than the other one, or they go in a different direction. That's and right. Now the partner is no longer helping that, no longer part of that. So they'll end the marriage because of that. Now, Venus, too, is its Moolatrikona sign is Libra, which means the source of its strength. And Saturn is exalted in the sign of Libra. And Saturn is a cruel planet, too, which is interesting. But we'll get more into that sort of thing in another type of video. Okay, so the color of Libra is green. Now, this is not what it says in Brihat Parashara, but it's based on the research and testing of Ernst Wilhelm's work. He's a gemologist. He's done extensive testing and experimentation with gemstones, and he came to the conclusion that Libra is green. Now, the gemstones themselves, depending on what planet you're looking at, will determine what type of gemstone it is, but the color will correspond to the sign. And for Libra, that is like a beautiful emerald green. Okay, so you want to talk about the Lord of Libra, even though we've mentioned Venus throughout it. Anything
Lord of Libra is Venus, you know, so Venus is the ruler of Libra and Taurus, but here we're focusing on Libra. And, you know, this is the so-called yang expression of Venus, you know, whereas Taurus is the yin, you know, the passive expression of Venus. Libra is its active sign, and I think if you reflect on everything that's been said so far, you can get that sense of the motivation that's in Libra.
Yeah.
And of course, also its, you know, ability to carve out a life in the world and to know how to navigate that in a way that makes sense, you know, that allows them to be nourished and also allows them to fulfill their goals. That's the unique quality of Libra. Usually, it's easy to be nourished if you don't do too much, and it's easy to fulfill your goals if you're willing to sacrifice yourself. But Libra is saying, you know, there has to be a way that I can be nourished and healthy and have well-being and fulfill all of my goals. And that's their consideration.
Right. So fascinating. Well, thank you for joining us for this video on Libra today. And if you like this, hit like, please, and subscribe. So next month, when we talk about Scorpio, you'll be notified. Until then, goodbye.